the last time you gave yourself a raise? Or even better yet, when was the last time you were paying yourself consistently every month? I see this often as small business owners, and let me tell you, I was there. Trust me. I remember the days when I would look at my checking account, I would pay the electric bill, I would pay rent, I would make sure my employees got paid, I'd pay my vendors, and if there was something left over, then, oh great, I'll pay myself a little bit that month. Well, I'm here to tell you after 20 years of being an entrepreneur, that type of mentality can burn you out faster than anything. And why is that? Well, first of all, this I'll pay myself later if there's money left over, all that does is give you a scarcity mindset. It makes you start to think that, will I ever have money left over? Will this business ever really thrive? And then we start to tell ourselves, well, one day, next month is going to be a good month, or next week's going to be a really good week. That'll be the week that I can finally pay myself. And then we say, well, if I just work a little harder, I'll get there. Well, today I want to talk about how do we flip that script? How do you pay yourself as a small business owner first before everybody else? Is that really scary for you? Well, let's talk about the mindset of this. Especially, I see this a lot for women in business, but I see this overall for everybody in business. There's a couple things that we tell ourselves. First of all, as business owners, we usually started a business because we had a passion or we were really excited about something. And at the beginning, we don't even really care if we make money. I know that sounds crazy, but we just want people to like what we offer. We just want people to be excited about our product. We just want every sale we can get, and we will sell it for whatever dollar just to get the sale. And over time, it starts to wear on us if the profit isn't there. We're also natural givers, right? We want our customers. So especially you in the service industry, I see this a lot. Think like photographers or interior designers where you're trading time. I've had clients where I've said to them, okay, I want you to track your time. By the time they were done with that project, they were making like $2 an hour. I don't know about you, but that's not very motivating. And then there's this guilt around being successful. Did you know that small business owners have a way of sabotaging their success? That's real. And also there's this guilt, depending on how you grew up with money, that if you are successful, then people are going to think, oh, who does she think she is? Or who does he think he is being all successful in his business? Other things is we feel like, well, I'm not supposed to take a paycheck. I'm supposed to reinvest. I need to, put money here or put money there. So how do we start overcoming all of this and actually pay ourselves? Well, first of all, a lot of this comes from lack of financial clarity. And in business, we tend to be reactive. We do this with our time. We do this with our emails. Like, how many of you have ever started your day, opened up your emails, and all those things that you wanted to get done in the day go out the window because all of a sudden you start reacting to every email that came in? Well, we do this with our money too. Instead of being proactive and telling our money where we want it to go, we react with whatever's left over. We do this when we're pricing ourselves. Instead of really sitting down and understanding every penny that's going into that product or service, including your time as an owner, we just price ourselves based on what we feel the market will carry or what our competitors might be doing. Another thing we do is we think about profit later. Oh, I'm not supposed to be profitable for a few years. I'm just supposed to get out there and get some revenue, get some customers. And so all this just starts to spiral, right? I see a lot with entrepreneurs who are starting to maybe grow and get a little bit of extra money in their checking account. All of a sudden they get excited and they think, oh, now I'm going to redo my website, or oh, I'm going to be able to take that class now. And yes, there are times and places and strategies for that in your business, but not all the time. And if we're reacting and making that decision just based on what's left in our checking account, we can be hurting ourselves in the long run. So what can we do differently? Well, first of all, we have to shift our mindset. Paying yourself is not selfish. Paying yourself ensures that you're going to be here for a while. Let me ask you this. You know how when you go on a flight and at the beginning they always give you the safety, and they always say, in the event of emergency, if you're traveling with small children, put on your oxygen mask first and then you can help others. Well, what if you looked at a weekly paycheck is your oxygen mask. Because why? I've seen it firsthand. When small business owners start collecting a weekly paycheck, all of a sudden it doesn't feel like a hobby anymore. It doesn't feel like just a sidekick anymore. It feels like a real business. And it also helps you come home and share that with your family, who also then start to view you as building a real business instead of just a passion project. I've seen it all the time. It increases our confidence. It builds up our esteem, and it actually gives us the oxygen to keep going. It's a way to refuel. The other thing that we have to really think about is knowing your numbers. Like I said about the pricing, we tend to just sometimes throw a dart. I will tell you, in all the years that I owned a business and in the clients that I've helped, I've never seen anybody lose clients over raising their prices. It's because we do it strategically. We do it in the right way. We're not just like taking a huge increase. So we have to understand our numbers, including our time that we're putting in order to really price ourselves profitably and smartly. So now, how do we start flipping the script and paying ourselves first? Well, it's real interesting how your landlord gets paid, your utility bills get paid, all of that gets paid. What if you were the first person in your business every month to get paid? And start small. Maybe it's only a couple $100 a week and you work your way up. But here's the thing. If you treated that like a hard line expense, not a discretionary if there's something left over, you're going to make sure it happens. Just like you make sure everybody else gets paid. So what if today you started doing that? And then what if you started creating separate accounts? Like you have your operating account where all your sales goes into. That's your main checking account. What if you created a separate account and you put a certain percentage automatically into that savings account that is pay yourself fund? And you just do it on auto pay. So you don't have to make the decision. It just automatically happens. I was working with a client who started out struggling with her net profit. She didn't have any money. And when we finally got to the point of talking about money, when we finally got to the point of talking about having money, we said, you have to pay yourself first. And she struggled because she felt like, do I deserve this? Do I earn this? Is this what I'm supposed to do? But I said, let's just start out small. And you know what she said to me? She goes, this feels good. It feels like I'm really making it, like I'm legitimate. Well, when you feel good and you feel like you're really making it and it's legitimate, guess what? You show up more confidently. Guess what? Your clients see that. Your customers see that. And you start to build momentum and get more sales. So paying yourself first is a strategy to do that. When you think about this whole, I'm going to work smarter, not harder, or work harder, type of mentality in order to pay myself. Well, working smarter, not harder is the way to do it. That's why I built my program called Earn More, Stress Less. So let's look at, when's the last time you looked at your prices? Start there. Have you taken a price increase in a while? I got to believe all your vendors have, because the cost of doing business has gone up. Are you delegating and bringing in the right people to help you with your numbers so that you feel confident and you really understand them? In order for you to succeed, you have to pay yourself. You left a corporate job or you left some type of job to start this business. And I know you had a passion for it and I know you're excited about it. But at the end of the day, you also need to pay yourself. It's okay to pay yourself, because I'm a firm believer that people with great money, good money, go on to do great things. So it's okay. You pay yourself, then you get to choose what you want to do with that. If you want to invest it or donate it, that's up to you. But you can't get there until you start making you a priority. Because otherwise what happens is you're going to grow tired. If you're not paying yourself regularly, you're going to say, oh, what's the point? And you're more apt to quit and get burned out. So today I want you to think about, how can you pay yourself? If it's once a month, it's once a month, a flat rate. How do you make that a line item that comes out of your checking account first before anyone else gets paid? Because trust me, if you flip the switch on that mindset, you will make sure there's enough money in that account to get paid. If you're interested in talking about this in deeper, if you need someone to take a peek at your financials, reach out to me. I'm happy to help. And in the meantime, I sure hope that you start making yourself the #1 paycheck.